Nation, it is Tuesday. My name is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about news and top stuff and things that matter to me today. Oh, and a quickie update, for the next 24 hours, we are having a broke-ass college kid sale. So you know those posters that are normally like $15? Well, they're $4. There are also several other discounts, but that's your monkey poster, Biz Monkey, Propaganda, Kansas, and Banff. And Nation, the first thing I want to talk about today is a man that could easily be our douchebag of the day. You might have seen the video. A man who was just simply outside of Buckingham Palace when he whipped out a giant knife and started to threaten to kill himself. Also, thanks to the YouTuber Grant Shepard, we have beautiful, crisp HD footage of how everything went down, and it looks like this. And it rode the lightning straight to the ground where he ceased to move, but luckily, because this was not America, he was not kicked in the face. So one, I have to give the cops or the bobbies or whatever they call you out there props that you kept everyone safe, even though technically the man was holding himself hostage, which by the way, if you're ever gonna do that, don't, because that's a terrible idea. And reportedly, soon after this incident, the man was arrested and charged with causing a fray. So I guess the main point of this story is don't do it, because otherwise everyone's gonna make fun of you and you're gonna look like a jackass. And that's why I love the internet. And Nation, that brings us to our Sexy Time News Instagram hottie of the day, Valeria Orsini. She is a Colombian, Italian, Puerto Rican model, which, that's like all of my favorite things in one. Like, the only thing on that same level would be like if they made an Xbox that made chocolate and money. Women aren't objects. No, they are not. They are beautiful creatures that make me treat myself like an object. So much so that I would probably void the warranty and not be able to return myself. But hey, also for the man lovers of the nation, I have made you a Sexy Time gallery of Mr. Matt Bomer, which I kind of feel bad about because I made a joke about how Matt Bomer was gay, and I was kind of glad because no one's got time to compete with that. And apparently a lot of little girls didn't realize that, and I crushed their dreams, so I'm sorry. But seriously, I'm super glad he's gay. Same with Neil Patrick Harris. It's like, life as a straight man is so much easier. Then something that's just like awesome and exists on the internet and I have to share with you is there's this Moscow-based company called AirPano that takes 360-degree footage. And the new 360-degree footage is above the Dolbachik volcano, and it is gorgeous. You see the lava flows and the volcano, and it's just, Definitely check the links down below after this video and just enjoy it. Then news I probably shouldn't be excited about, Instagram.com now works on your desktop so you actually see your feed. And even though there have been third-party sites that kind of allowed you to do this, they always seemed kind of clunky. Also, if you want to follow mine, it's Instagram.com/PhillyDeFranco. I promise I will not post a picture of my penis again. I didn't. That's a lose-lose situation for everybody. Then let's talk about our BAMF of the day, Ingrid Diaz. Ingrid lives in Santa Cruz, Bolivia, where she says her hometown, she's just shocked when she looks out and she sees all the poverty. And often people in her hometown have to live in these dirt floor shacks, and they make these makeshift tents, and they all have to huddle together. And it's not just a few of them. 2010 estimates that over 50% of the country lives below the poverty line. But Ingrid, being her Bamfy self, said, we have to do something, but how are we gonna do it without getting like some random billionaire to help? What do we have a lot of? Poor people. Okay, yeah, we have poor people. Dirt. Yeah, okay, we have dirt. Plastic bottles. You say that to anyone else and they go back to the drawing board. Ingrid, on the other hand, decides to build houses with all of these things. Yes, she designs and builds homes by taking a lot of excess dirt, putting them into bottles and using them as bricks. And then a bunch of those people come together and they build these homes. So far they've built 10. And you just look at all these pictures and one, the homes are amazing, but two, you're just like, this community, people helping people. And so Ingrid and all those who are helping her, thank you for shining a light and making the world seem like less of an awful place. And for that, you are our BAMF of the day. And then that good old hobo in an alley ready to shank you, North Korea is in the news again. Cause why not? They said, yeah, even though you guys are like, don't test the nukes, we're totally gonna test the nukes. Then we said that we're totally doing it because, like, specifically you, America. Then you put your people under martial law, even though I don't know what the hell that was beforehand. Tell your generals to be ready for war, and then you release this propaganda film today, showing a young North Korean man who apparently is not dying of starvation and has not had to eat his children yet, dreaming of being on a North Korean space shuttle launched into orbit. And then the song We Are the World comes on, and you see a unified North Korea, where apparently everyone's super happy because Kim Jong-un was just really misunderstood and is actually a really totally cool guy. And then an unnamed city waving an American flag that kind of looks like New York is being attacked by missiles, and there's fire and ruin. And reportedly the translation over this part of the video is, somewhere in the United States, black clouds of smoke are billowing. It seems the nest of wickedness is ablaze with the fire started by itself. And at the end of this terrible propaganda film, the young man concludes his dream will come true. It finally saying, despite all kinds of attempts by imperialists to isolate and crush us, never will anyone be able to stop the people marching marching toward a final victory. And ultimately, we'll see where this goes. It is very likely that in the next week, North Korea will conduct their third nuclear test. And after that, we'll see how the world reacts, which will be very interesting because China has seemingly been backing away slowly from their very drunk, angry friend with a Napoleon complex. And then, oh boy, there was so much hashtag America news. One, the budget deficit will drop below $1 trillion in 2013. Yay, less debt, but still lots of debt. And the report also predicts that by 2015, the deficit will be down to $430 billion, which is the lowest it has been since the last year George Bush was in office. That was a $459 billion deficit. Then there was this amazing report released today from the Open Society Foundation. Especially during the Bush years, you might have heard about this US counterterrorism tactic, which was extraordinary rendition, in which suspects were quietly moved to secret prisons abroad and often tortured, and this report shows involvement from over 50 nations. Specifically, 54 nations that either hosted CIA black sites, interrogated or tortured prisoners that were sent by the US, or otherwise collaborating in some way. The report also identifies by name 136 prisoners that experienced this, and plainly put, it's a political shit show today. There were officials that said, hey, well, we didn't send them to be tortured, but they were sending them to Egypt, Libya, and Syria, which, well, you know the history of the past 10 years. But then there was also negative Obama news. A lot of people have criticized Obama over his drone strikes, killing civilians. And today, a 16-page memo made its way to NBC News where they released it, and it reveals that the Obama administration believes that high-level administration officials, not just the president, may order the killing of senior operational officials of Al-Qaeda or an associated force even without evidence they are actively plotting against the US. The Justice Department stating, a lawful killing in self-defense is not an assassination. The paper also states that the US could kill a US citizen overseas when, quote, an informed high-level official of the US government determines the target is an imminent threat. So people have been chiming in on both sides. Some people saying, well, you know, if they are a US citizen, but not in the real sense that they live here and they support this country and they're actively trying to destroy it, well, no, at that point they're not American, yes, kill them. But the side against it saying, you're saying that even when they're not an imminent threat, like they will not harm us, we can kill them? And personally, I am all for the deaths of terrorists. People that want to hurt us, yes, kill them. But I will admit it is a very slippery slope. But nation, of course, this is not your regular news show. This is the PDS, so I want you to chime in on the question of the day today, which is, do you believe that the US should do this? That a higher authority, not even just the president, has the authority to do this? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And remember to possibly get a $100 Amazon gift card. Leave a comment down below. Join the conversation. Maybe hit the like button, favorite if you really like it. And of course, a big thanks to the sponsor of today's show, audiblepodcast.com/PhillyD. You use that URL, sign up for a month, you get a free audiobook. But of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.